Hey piggies! Hi guys! So today's video is going to be a video on caring for pigs. So these are my two pigs in case you haven't seen them before, although if you're familiar with my channel you will have seen them. So I'll try and walk over here and they're just going to chase me. Hey Pickle! So this ginger one here is Pickle, and then the white or pink and black one is Primrose. And they're going to get really close and make it really hard for me to film. Right, okay, so these are my micro pigs. They're both the brother and sister. In case you don't already know this information, I'll just tell you. They're 5 months old, and we've had them since they were 2 months old. So you shouldn't have pigs from before the age of 8 weeks, because they should be with their mum up to that point and their siblings. And it's just like any other animal. They don't want to be weaned too early or taken off their parents too early or anything like that. So I'll just tell you a bit of what you need to know and what you need to have prior to getting or even considering getting micro pigs. So I think the main important thing is, and the thing that a lot of people get wrong in my opinion, is that pigs need to live in pairs. At least they're a very sociable animal. They love human interaction, but they need their own kind, don't you? Yes. They're a lovely pet to have, but it's mean and cruel in my opinion to keep them singularly, because they are just so social, and you'll see that from the moment you get them. They constantly, my two didn't leave each other's side for about the first month. They were fine with us and they weren't scared, but they just didn't leave each other's side, and they don't now really. It's very rare that they're further than a few meters apart. So like now, you know, right next to each other. It's just the way pigs are. And that was something that my breeder really stressed to us. Now, obviously you need to consider where you're getting your pigs from. We wanted to rescue, we're a very pro-rescue family, and we wanted to rescue our piggies. Unfortunately, no rescues near us had any pigs, and we were specifically looking for a small breed of pig. Not specifically micro, we weren't looking for, we were looking for like Kunekune, potbellied, anything that wasn't a massive pig. But then there were none. They're play fighting. So we ended up contacting a really lovely woman, a breeder. I think they were about an hour away, nearly 2 hours away, and we went to go see them when they were little and picked these two. So if you are going to have a boar, it is strongly recommended that they are castrated, because they're just so easy to deal with. Pickle is actually the softer, gentler, less crazy one out of the two, and Primrose is the cheeky, naughty pig. So you need to obviously have space for them. I don't personally believe pigs can live solely indoors. I think that yes, a pig could maybe live indoors, so long as they have access to the garden whenever they want, and so long as the garden is enclosed and they can make as much of a mess of it as they want, because pigs dig up the grass. That's just what they do. They have to in order to survive. They cannot sweat, so they need to be able to wallow in mud to cool down. So as long as you're not like too house proud, then a piggy can live indoors, but that does not mean that they don't need their own company. They do. It's very important. So the outdoor space that they need is 1/4 of an acre per pair. So my two have 1/4 of an acre here. It goes right up to the fencing up there, all the way down to the bottom fencing up there. You can't quite see it from where I'm sat. And then right up there. So it is a very large paddock for them. This is actually just over 1/4 of an acre, I think, for my two, and it's perfect size. So over here they have their wallowing section, which is all muddy and you can't really see it very well. but it's all muddy over there. They have the little house here, they have their paddling pool, their food and water stationy bit there. And I'll get onto that in a minute. But so that's something that obviously you have to guarantee that you've got enough space for your piggies. The next thing I would say, once you've decided that you're having them, you've got space for them, you need to start buying the supplies. So you need a house. This is my pig's current house. So it's actually a 6x4 shed that I've actually painted like a beach hut, and it's got, I don't know if you can see them holes in the top of the door there. It's got vents in, and at the back it's been lined with thick plywood, so it's warm in winter for them, and so they can't chew it. And then they have a very deep bed of straw. Pigs must have a very deep, clean, dry bed of straw. They love it, and they will drag it all out, as my two have done, as you can see. They also have like that little pier thing. I'll go up and show you. They have this little pier thing here, which is so that in winter, when it's all muddy, they have some hard standing so that they won't like be in the mud constantly. Their hut also has a little window. We're actually getting a brick sty built, which will be an 8x4 for when they are bigger. I wouldn't recommend anything really smaller than an 8x4. It depends how big your pigs are going to grow, because there is not a breed of micro pig. It's a mixture of small breeds, so you never really can guarantee how big your pigs are going to grow. So that's why it's important to see the mum and dad, because they will be the biggest indicator of their size. Prim is bigger and more like her mum. Her mum was the larger of the two, whereas Pickle is very much like his dad, and his dad was very much the smaller of the mum and dad, and he was very small. So Pickle, his dad was also a ginger pig, and I won't show you Prim now because she's having a wee. So the next thing they need is obviously a water bucket, something strong, and possibly you need it quite shallow just because they are little. I mean, look at his little stumpy legs. You need something short. And they will stand in it, and they will get it muddy, so you will need to change the water about twice a day really. We tend to do ours morning and night. They also have, we lock them in the shed on a night. We'll probably do that up to their about 6 months, just for predator reasons. But yeah, you'll need a separate smaller water bowl for in their bed section. Then back there, if you can see that little green thing, that's actually a child's paddling pool. Come sandpit, it's by Little Tykes. If you just type into Google Little Tykes tortoise or turtle sandpit, that comes up, and that's what my piggies use as their paddling pool. Because like I said, pigs cannot sweat, they need somewhere to wallow, and a paddling pool is a really good idea for your pigs, so long as it's like plastic, so they can't break it or anything. And both my pigs like to sit in that and cool off, especially during the warm summer days. So the next thing that you need to think about is your fencing. So once you've got your 1/4 of an acre for your pair of piggies, and even when they're babies, they're going to need that size. It's no good thinking, oh, they're only little, they still need that size. So we have gone for normal stakes. Some people prefer electric fencing, I personally don't, we decided against it. And then we have the smallest cattle fencing we could get, because obviously when we first got them, they were only 8 weeks old and very, very small. And it gets smaller as you get over to the bottom, so the smallest one's like that. And then they have a snuffle board all the way around the entire 1/4 of an acre. They have these boards, they're gorgeous, that stop them from like getting their snout under and lifting it up, because that is what they would do otherwise. So these have to be attached to these wooden ones, so they cannot physically lift this up, because otherwise they just get out. They are quite a good escape artists. You know, luckily ours have never escaped, but pigs are very good at escaping, and they are very strong, aren't ya? So this is the bit where they wallow and things. As you can see, we've wet this bit today because you have to wet it during like really hot temperatures. It's been really warm in the UK today. So you have to wet the ground so that they can wallow in it. Obviously it's dried up now. We wet it earlier this afternoon. It's a good idea to have a sprinkler system. We just have a normal sprinkler thingy that we put on it. Little pig. And then this is all of the bit that they snuffle on. They do chew, as you can see. Pickle, give up please. So general maintenance is required. Pickle. Stop it. Stop it. They are quite naughty. My two have just got to the teen sort of naughty stage, so that's why they're sort of got a bit more naughty. Yeah. Stop that please. And I think that's mainly it. You need to worm them. It depends. My breeder recommended worming them quite often. I think it was every couple of months. We've decided to worm them. She wormed them at 2 months old. We've decided that we'll next worm them at 6 months old because our piggies are in an enclosed, it's a private farm, we don't get people coming. There's only the horses and the rabbits and, oh, very close to your face. There's only the horses and the rabbits and the dogs, so we're good for stuff like that. So we're going to worm them when they're 6 months old, and they also have that also has like an anti-mite and anti-like parasite thingy in it. Do you like that? Do you like your chin being tickled? Yeah. And that our vet will give by injection. So I think that's about it really. That's all I can think to say. If I think of any more, oh, their food. You'll need to buy some food obviously before you get them. Any sour and wiener nuts that are low in protein are best because little micro pigs get fat very easily. They do, really. As you can see, Prim is a bit rotund, but they've got pot belly in them. It's not an issue. Their weight's not an issue. Pickle is slightly less fat, but he's not the skinniest pig. But they're not meant to be like skinny. Otherwise, obviously they'd be on a diet. But any sour and wiener nuts are fine as long as they're low in protein. I recommend, if you can, sticking with the ones your breeder uses because they know best, or the rescue. And if you can't, then we couldn't get hold of the ones that our breeder used, so she gave us a big bag to be going on with, and we bought our own brand and then just very gradually mixed it in so that they were eventually weaned onto what we were feeding them. And I think that's it. I think that's all I want to say. They are very playful. They like toys, generally very tough toys. Here they need a lot of shade obviously because they can't sweat, but here under the trees they find all these sticks, so like there's lots of branches, and they're like a dog. They'll go and they will fetch the stick and they'll bring it to you and stuff like that. They are very playful, and we give them fruit and veg once or twice a week. They can't have it too often, and you cannot give them scraps from the kitchen. It is illegal due to the outbreak of pig diseases and things. It's been linked, and therefore any catering waste is actually illegal, and you will be prosecuted if anyone finds out, which is nice to know. So we give ours fresh fruit and veg from our little veg patch once or twice a week. They like apples and carrots, and what else do you like? I think they're your favourites, aren't they? You're not talking to me. Alright then guys, so I'll leave this video here because it's quite long, and I'll see you guys soon, and I hope this helped, and I'll put anything I didn't include in the down bar. See you guys soon, bye!